Hello everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about the latest episode of Vanderpump Rules. That's season 10 episode 4. Before we do though, please don't forget to like and subscribe so that you won't miss any further videos. But without further ado, let's get right into it. So we pick up this episode right where we left off last week, where everybody is at this party and Katie is so mad at Scheana and she walks out. Ariana goes after her and Katie starts to cry and says that Scheana has no right to be inserting herself in any way whatsoever, and she leaves. And in her confessional, she does mention that she has a little bit of a fear that with the divorce might come some of the friends picking sides, and maybe they will pick Schwartz's side, so that's a little scary. But the party continues. Everybody is partying, dancing, but Raquel goes to have a private chat with Allie, who is James' new girlfriend. They are really nice to one another, and somehow Allie now knows about the hookup that James and Lala had while they were both in relationships. She says that it really worries her, especially because he is drinking again. I do think though that Allie is a little bit two-faced, because the chat was going great and it wasn't even that awkward, but in her confessionals Allie was throwing some shade. Then Allie goes to James and she fills him in on everything about the conversation that she just had about a minute ago. And he asks, "What did Raquel say to you?" And she says, "Well, Raquel told me to be careful," which really pisses James off, and like he even reads her for filth a little bit. Anyway, Tom Sandoval and his band perform as well. He performs a song about hooking up with Schwartz's mom. I know it's a joke and like they're friendly like that, but it's a little weird to me. The party continues and Raquel is getting pretty wasted. She keeps drinking, and then all of a sudden she says, "I want to really make out with someone." And this girl goes up to Schwartz and says, "Do you want to make out?" He's very flattered, and you can tell that he really does want to, like really bad. But then he turns around and sees that camera on the back of his head, so that he kind of like catches a hint, and he thinks that Katie will be very upset as well. So we can give him some props for not doing it, right? So days later, Sandoval and Scheana go over to Tom Schwartz's new place, which is still a pretty big mess. So they tell him some things that he could do and work on, just personally, his house, whatever. They do talk about Raquel and Schwartz. He says that he doesn't want to date anyone in the group, and he says that, "Oh wait, I forgot, I'm not supposed to be seeing you, Scheana." And she's like, "Why?" So Tom says, "I don't think that Katie meant it, but she told me that she doesn't want me to see you." And this sends Sandoval over the roof, and he says, "What? She's the one divorcing you and leaving you. Like, she has no right." And even Scheana gets a little emotional and says, "You know what? I wasn't going to be picking sides, but if I have to, I certainly will." Moving along, we see Charlie for the first time. Not a big fan of her, but she has a chat with Raquel. Raquel fills her in on some of the things that have been happening, like the fact that she told Allie about James and Lala's hookup, which Charlie thinks it was in Raquel's place, but obviously she disagrees. And apparently that night of the party, James was kicked out. He was escorted out because he was acting a fool. Then Raquel tells Charlie that she can now fully say that she has a crush on Tom Schwartz. Charlie thinks that it's really weird, but Raquel says that she loves the way that he looks at her and that she never saw him like that before, like when he was with Katie. But ever since Scheana put that idea in her head, she started to like him, which I do believe her, because it can totally happen. Like, you know someone and you don't necessarily have a crush on them, but then all of a sudden you do. So I think it is possible. Next scene, Sandoval and Schwartz have a meeting with their business partner, and the business partner is so over them, which I didn't blame him at all, because at times it seems like they're not even serious about it, but they need to be putting on their big boy pants on and get with it. So Lisa Vanderpump then has a meeting with James and wants to know, why is he drinking again? You know, she's worried about him, and she can see the pain inside of him, and he can't help but to cry, because he does see her as a mother figure, and deep down it hurts him that Raquel dumped him. Then the Toms have yet again another party at Schwartz and Sandy's before the opening, and it's a family and friends type of thing. So Katie arrives there with Christina Kelly, Ariana's there of course, and Sandoval's parents and family are there, so that's nice. Katie is talking to Christina, and Ariana, she's still really bothered by Scheana and says that if Tom and her want to be in a healthy space, they need to be communicating with one another. And then she takes the time to plan a vacation trip. Tom Schwartz pulls Katie to the side because he sees how happy Sandoval is with his parents and his family, and he says, well, you know what, Katie, you're my family here. You're the only one here. And they start off good. The conversation is going pretty well. But then Tom says that, you know what, Scheana's pretty upset at you. And Katie gets livid. And then a man comes to shake Tom's hand, right? Like nothing wrong with that. And Katie is so rude and dismissive. The guy, like, she just like waved his hand and was like, no, not right now, with like a hand gesture. So Tom, rightly so, tells Katie, you cannot do that. Not only is it rude, but it reflects bad on my business. Like, that's not something you can do. Then there is a date with Katie, Ariana, and Raquel. Katie is super nice to Raquel in this day and tells her about the trip that she's planning, but obviously she doesn't really want to invite Scheana. And because ultimately Raquel was somehow a factor in this equation, she comes clean to Katie and says, you know, I need to tell you something. I did ask Tom to kiss me at the party. And Katie's taken aback. She's confused. You can tell that it really bothered her. And she asks, why did you do that? And she said, well, I don't know, you know, trying to kind of like cover herself. And then Katie says, well, did you get this idea after what Gina was putting in your head? And Raquel says, yeah. So Katie's like, yep, I knew it. It's Scheana behind everything with these mastermind evil plans. So I feel like this is going to make her disdain for Scheana even greater. So LVP goes and visits Schwartz and Sandoval. The first question she asks is, why haven't y'all opened yet? They say it's complicated. Apparently their business partner doesn't want to open. So Lisa asks some like business questions. So apparently the business partner owns the lease, but they pay the rent. So LVP is saying, well, first of all, y'all should have came to me for a better contract, like help y'all out. But if y'all are going to be putting all this money in, you guys have to open right away because it's kind of like throwing money. So it looks like there is going to be some problems with Greg, their business partner. And that is all we got this episode, you guys. I will say I give Raquel a little bit of credit for coming clean to Katie herself instead of like waiting for her to hear it from someone else. But what are you guys thinking? Are you on Katie's side? Are you on Scheana's side? What do you think about Raquel asking Tom Schwartz to make out with her? Let me know in the comments. Next week's episode is going to be very good because they're going to be introducing Garcelle's son Oliver, and Raquel's going to totally make out with him. She is acting a little bit crazy this season, but like I said, let me know all your thoughts and also about the episode about Tom, both Toms, and how they're handling their business as well. So I'll catch you guys next time. You'll have a great one. Bye.